Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to Social Studies class for grade 4. Today inshallah we're going to learn lesson 3 which is about after UAE, after the discovery of oil. Do you remember when we spoke about life in the UAE before the discovery of oil, how they were using camels for like kind of um, mean of transportation, how they were like sitting in katatib in masjid, how they were using rupees, how also they were using falaj to irrigate their farms. Do you remember all of these stuff? All of these things that are related to lifestyle was before the discovery of oil. After the discovery of oil, UAE became more developed. In this lesson, we're going to learn about how life changed in the UAE after the discovery of oil, the new vocabulary, transportation, flats, paved, firm, tide, to migrate, seasonal, livelihood. All of these words, we're going to see them inside the paragraphs and know about their answers. So, let's see here. First of all, draw a small picture of your home in the middle of the box. Then draw some places around your home where you can go for a walk or ride a bike or go swimming or play in the park. Are these things near to your home or do you have to travel a long way to get there? Draw here your house and the places around your house. Maybe you have here a small supermarket beside your home, or maybe it's a big mall. What about the park? Do you have a park beside your house? Right, draw everything here. Let's read. We have looked at the UAE in the past and we studied how they lived simpler life. They lived in tents, in deserts, and had no technology. Yeah. They used camels to go from one place to another and used camels for food and clothing. People walked from one place to place. The UAE did not have a paved road. A paved road, it's like the stones that you walk in, or like the road is clear for you. It's not a sand. Okay, so the UAE did not have a paved road until the late 1960s. The first one was between Dubai and Ras Al Khaimah. People would drive on the beach to get places. Why? Why on the beach? Let's see why. Because that's where the sand was most firm. We know that if you walk, if you walk beside the sea, and then let's say this is a boy who's walking beside the sea. Okay, what's gonna happen beside the sea, the sand that is near the sea? What's going to happen? His legs are going to go inside, right? But if he come somehow to that place, or if he went somehow far away from the sea, the sand is going to be more firm, so he can walk normally without any what problems, right? Yeah. So let's carry on. Sometimes they would have to wait for the tide to go out so they could make the trip. What's the meaning of tide? See, tide and ebb. It's the movement of what? The movement of the sea water. See, I want to show you something that is um, clear. So, when the water, let me see the videos. Yeah. So when the water come to the um, beach side, or when the water come closer to the land, this is called tide. But when the water return back and go away from the land side, this is called ebb. So sometimes they would have to wait for the tide to go out so they could make the trip. Older neighborhoods in parts of Bardo Bay and Dira were built for walking. Most people worked not far from where they lived. Some families migrated seasonally. Why? Seasonally, every season. Like not like they're not migrated for like um to another country and they will not return back. No, seasonally it's only like in certain season. Like usually we travel to our countries during the summer. This is seasonally migration. So usually by walking between different sources of livelihood. Today in the UAE, people live a much different life. They communicate using technology and they have many different forms of transportation, most of which are quite fast. Today, of course, we don't use camels, right? Most of Emiratis live in a villa with their extended families. In the past, the houses were much smaller and were closer to each other. In the past, houses were closer to each other, right? Like let's say this is Sharjah. All you're going to find or all the places near each other. Let me show you all Sharjah. See how all the houses are beside each other, closer to each other. Nowadays, of course, it's not like that. When they have villas, it's far away from each other. Now, let's see. Let's compare things that were written here, the UAE in the past and the UAE today. I wrote two. There were not any paved streets. Today, there are a lot of paved streets. What about also in the past? People used camels to move. People nowadays have different forms of transportation. Right here, your own answers. Let me give you a hint. What do you think of the houses right here? What do you think of the houses in the past and today? And the last one, try to search it for your own, from your own. Discuss the following question with the partner and write down your ideas. Describe what you think it was like here in the UAE before the roads were built. What do you think? It was what? For me, I imagined, and I wrote it was full of sand and rocky ways. People were hardly walking through these ways, especially if they were sandstone. So, especially if there were sandstone. Here, write your own description. How do you think life was like in the UAE? Here, describe what do you think life was like before modern technology. What do you think? For me, I wrote, people live in more simple way than us. They were going to pearl diving from the early morning and coming home before the sunset because they had no lanterns to lighten their ways. Also, people were walking from one place to another as they don't have cars or any form of transportation. I want you to write your own and describe life. How was it like before the modern technology? Okay, here we have a text about the new homes in the UAE. How are they? The new homes. The new Istidama homes, people have more sustainable way to be comfortable. All the new villas are designed with improved and natural ventilation. It means they don't depend on air conditions. They have a ways of natural ventilation, which is about 25% better than the average villa in Al Ain. In addition to the improved ventilation and more energy efficient air conditioning. So, UAE now is trying to build houses that are more eco friendly, more good to the environment, houses that will not destroy the environment with pollution. So, these houses has to be what do you think? They have to be what? Dependent on solar power or anything that is related to renewable energy. Next class, inshallah, we're going to read this text and know more and more about the new villas and houses that the UAE is trying to develop. Wish you enjoyed this class. Wish you all the best. See you next class, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.